So for the past few years, we've been getting some absolutely amazing games. In 2022, FromSoft introduced the world to one of the greatest games of all time, Elden Ring. And it completely took over my life, including some unforeseen consequences a few years in the future.
We're done when I say we're done.
2023 brought Tears of the Kingdom, and while it is one of my favorite games of all time, and I think it should have won Game of the Year, I absolutely understand and love that Baldur's Gate was able to bring it home. That's a huge win for a smaller dev team compared to massive titans like Nintendo, Sony, and the like. And as far as 2024 goes, I didn't exactly have any interest in any of the new ones. None of them really appealed to me, with the obvious exception of Shadow Generations. The only real game I played was Elden Ring, as Shadows of the Erdtree just dropped, and it was just as amazing as everyone had hoped. Also, it might have something to do with the fact that my girlfriend officially decided Elden Ring Convergence was the perfect cozy couples co-op game. And trust me, it only got worse when Night Rain dropped. Normally I only have the time, or more accurately, the attention span, to do 2 or 3 new games a year, but this one was quite literally built different, because there have just been so many great games that I'm like, I need to play this, and I just wanted to take a chance to talk about some of the more of them. I've covered a few of them on my page, but I just wanted to go more in depth here, so welcome to my top 5 of 2025. Before we get started, I wanted to make a few honorable mention and quick notes. First of all, I will not be including Night Rain on this list. It's just more Elden Ring, and I've played a normal amount of it. I absolutely love the game, but we all already know how good Elden Ring is. It's just not fair to keep including it in Game of the Year talks. Anyways, my number 5 is Skyrim, the Super Ultra Mega Digital Deluxe Happy Birthmas Edition. Second, I feel it would be disingenuous to not even mention it, but Silksong will also be sitting this list out. While I never personally got into Hollow Knight, and by extension Silksong, I would be remiss if I didn't even acknowledge it. But it's fine for the Silk stands. You guys broke nearly every storefront on launch, and it will break the Game Awards next month.
That's fine.
Now with all that preamble out of the way, let's finally get into it with number 5.
You're the new captain.
Captain, huh?
That don't sound half bad.
Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, or Pirate Yakuza for short, is the newest addition in the Yakuza franchise. Majima has always been a fan-favorite character, so was very well received when he got his own story in Yakuza 0, and then he would even get a follow-up campaign in Kiwami 2. And while the story here isn't going to be as deep or well-written as either of those previous titles, there's still a lot of fun to be had here. The biggest draw in this game was the open sea style exploration and the unique naval combat along with the crew battle features. While I think they handled it very well and I didn't get bored during the main story run, I could see them both getting a bit stale on repeat playthroughs. Comparing those to the new upgraded combat system, Majima really shines in fight, bringing out his old tricks and new moves alike, among many others, giving him a litany of archaic and just flat-out weird powers. Another highlight is Matt Mercer's fantastic rendition of the Mad Dog. We've heard snippets here and there over the last 2 games, which are the first mainline Yakuza games to ever be fully dubbed, but he's front and center in this one, and he absolutely kills it.
Oh, my princess, I love you. You know that it's true, and I know you love me. It's easy to see, so slip away with me, my dear, and I'll be your charming tonight.
My biggest issue of the game is the awkward and off-putting live-action scenes, and while it does kill the pacing and drags on for far too long, it's all entirely optional and you can skip it all. The biggest complaint I'm seeing online is that the game is too silly, which while I understand completely, this game takes Majima and his wild antics and sticks them to an 11, keep in mind this is also the franchise that gave us a chicken as a financial advisor. Overall, the game is just wacky and fun. It was a great time all throughout. It's still a Yakuza game though, so when it gets serious, you feel it. It really is able to sell that moment, especially when you get to the final cutscene. That one last gut punch it gives you really wraps up the story perfectly, and it does show that once and for all, friendship truly is the greatest treasure of all. Wait, no, don't close! Alright, let's just get this out of the way right now. Is this game overpriced? Probably. Could it have used a lot more time and polish and development? Absolutely. Was it an absolute blast to play? Fuck yes. So originally I wasn't really interested in playing Legends ZA, but I received a free copy, so I decided to give it a shot, and I am glad I did. Originally I loved Legends Arceus, and it was my favorite game since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so while playing Legends ZA I will admit I had more fun with Arceus originally, but ZA is so much better than Sword, Shield, Scarlet, and Violet. In a word, the game is just incredibly charming. There's dozens of customization options for you and your character, and giving you the option to roam around with your Pokemon has always been a plus. The characters and dialogue are absolute best in class for a Pokemon game here, and the music has always been top quality. And I won't get into spoilers, but I really do love what they did with the story and characters. The big change in the formula is the real-time battle mechanics, which I feel were implemented extremely well. The free roaming and catching controls also handle a lot better than its ancient predecessor. As much as I love the gameplay loop Arceus offered, sneaking up behind a Pokemon and clocking them in the back of the head with a Gigaton ball can get repetitive. Some minor quality of life changes like shinies being allowed or ping and not despawning were very nice, among other things. Allowing you to use multiple metas per battle was cool and helped the battles feel more dynamic, but some of the endgame content made it feel like having multiple metas on your team was a requirement rather than a feature. After over 35 hours, I still have a lot more to do in-game, and I'm continuing to play it, and I've been having a great time so far. Alright, enough of the fluff now. Let's get down to the very real issues this game has, the first being the price. I normally will promote waiting for a sale to grab a game if you don't have the money or means to buy it at full price, but we all know Nintendo doesn't really do that. So that could easily end up being a hard pass for a lot of people, and I can't really defend the game or fault anyone for making that decision. It's completely fair. Second is the Mega Stones locked behind ranked play. Now, while I do disagree with that on principle, I must admit, I locked the Greninja Stone in 20 minutes, literally only 4 matches. I got first place in the first 2, and second place in the second 2, and that's all I needed to unlock it. And while I think it's a very weird decision and I don't like it, I will admit it is extremely easy to get it, and it is not nearly as bad as we were thinking it would be. And last, we have the presentation. I ran this game on the Switch 1, and it ran fairly well. The game really did not look great at times, but it never got bad as Scarlet Violet was. We've all seen the texture boxes on the wall, it's fucked. I didn't really encounter any big bugs myself, but I've seen dozens of clips of them online, people flipping into shit. And I get it, it is very jarring, especially for a company as big as Nintendo is. With all that being said, I do feel like what the game has to offer outshines these limitations, as long as you're okay with that price of admission. I did put up my review on the page, giving it an 8 out of 10 right after the story, but before all the post-game. While I still basically agree with that, if you liked Arceus and you like Pokemon, you'll probably really like this game. However, if you want to play a Pokemon game without playing Nintendo, I might actually have a better suggestion for you.
You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
Today, you were a true hero if you ask me. No doubt about it. So hey, hold your head up high, okay? I'll always be right here with you. Always with me? Yep. Always and forever.
Holy shit, guys, this Pokemon game has voice acting. Digimon Time Strangers really kinda came out of nowhere for me, but god damn did it suck me in. My background with Digimon has always been very limited, only seeing like the first 2 animated series when I was much younger, and I've only ever played a single Digimon game before, but Time Stranger looked so good and appealing, I had to give it a shot, and oh man, it's really good. If you like Pokemon games, you'll immediately probably vibe with this game, even if you've never had any real interaction with Digimon before. I've seen dozens of content creators who've never touched this stuff before falling in love with this game and the little guys. And why wouldn't they? It looks absolutely stunning at best and inoffensive at worst, and every single Digimon has a unique move with custom animations. I love the story they were telling, it was fun and gripping the whole way through. Legend ZA is cool and all, but it's a Pokemon game. You know what's going to happen 5 hours before it happens. With a name like Time Stranger, you know there's going to be some generic time travel shenanigans bullshit they're doing, but they leaned more into telling the story and went more into the character writing. In a truly revolutionary and novel concept, you get to choose 6 creatures to keep on your team out of a vast pool of them, but you get to use 3 at a time. There's a lot of depth and cheese depending on your playstyle. My favorite little guy was Huckmon, who I'd never met before this game, and I kept him on my team throughout the entire run, along with my original favorite from the OG story, little Tentamon. I'd love to get more into the story, but if you haven't already had a chance to experience it yourself, I would definitely recommend checking it out. The final act was pure and vintage JRPG hype. I was cheesing the whole time playing it. Digimon truly caught Pokemon slacking these past few years, and not only beat them to the punch, but they just did the majority of the things better. And we all love to see them get this win after being in Pokemon Shadow for such a long time. It's really got me looking forward to seeing what they do next with this franchise.
My first love was in elementary school.
Who was she?
Sonic and Tails.
What?
Guys, I think I just really liked Sega games. A Sonic game being number 2 shouldn't surprise anyone here. I've made several posts and videos about them over the past decade. I was invited to the closed beta test for this game, and I spent a shit ton of time on it and the open beta with friends, and I still play this game several hours a week. I love the fast-paced gameplay of Sonic games, so finally having a kart racing game that's arguably better than Mario Kart is an automatic win in my eyes. Obviously the game looks and feels great, controls are super responsive, and there's a wealth of customization options in both playstyle and cosmetic and aesthetics. Sega games have always been a masterclass in soundtracks, so it's no surprise here this game is full of bangers. The cameo characters are pretty crazy too, like Joker and Ichiban from Sega, Minecraft and SpongeBob got in, and of course...
Hatsune Miku!
Of course, this is Sega we're talking about, and they're generally okay with mods, so as long as they're cosmetic and don't actually change the gameplay, they're okay with it. And the only issue is the gameplay could cause issues with the online mode. But I check Game Banana every few days to see if there's any cool new mods to add to my list, and have easily dumped over 100 hours in this game between the betas, demos, and the official launch. I'm still loving it, I'm always down to play more, either on solo, in ranked, or with Chaotic Party with my friends.
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. I like Sonic, I don't chuckle.
Unfortunately, since it's a kart racing game, there's not too much I can say in depth here, but it's my favorite kart racer I've ever played, even dethroning Mario Kart Wii as my personal favorites. It's just a great time, either on your own or with friends. My only complaint I had with the first closed beta was immediately fixed by the time the open beta dropped. I have no issues or complaints about the game. It's fantastic, and they're still getting more content, with more coming too for at least the next year. And now that we've gotten to our final entry, anyone who's spent any amount of time on my channel, page, or caught the 3 times a year I remember I can stream, everyone here should already know what number 1 would be. Everyone knows I love Rift of the Necrodancer. Brace Yourself Games came onto my radar when they made the Zelda rhythm game Cadence of Hyrule a few years back, and it was fantastic. I played the hell out of it and needed more. I found out they had an entirely unique rhythm roguelike called Crypt of the Necrodancer, and I ended up falling in love. Several years later, they combined with Clay, who made Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, which, along with TF2, are my most played Steam games of all time. This truly was a match made in heaven, and feels like the game was perfectly made for me. Rift of the Necrodancer is a Guitar Hero-esque rhythm game where you have to hit notes in rhythm to the song, but all the notes are monsters who all behave and react differently when hit. While this is the main draw and the biggest part of the game, it's also filled with absolutely adorable rhythm-heaven styled minigames and punch-out styled boss fights. Crypt of the Necrodancer is infamous because of how harsh and unforgiving it can be, and Rift can be just as grueling and demanding as you want it to be. Rift was originally scheduled for release in 2023, but after several delays, it didn't come out till this year in early 2025, and I have not stopped playing it since. The custom tracks and songs are absolutely insane, including great artists like Family Jewels from YouTube, who is on my personal playlist several times, and Danny B, the composer of Super Meat Boy. Speaking of Super Meat Boy, Rift is still constantly dropping crossovers, including indie mega hits like Celeste, Pizza Tower, and Everhood, along with many others. And of course...
Hatsune Miku!
Also, while I'm editing this video, they announced a Shovel Knight crossover, so there's that too now. Like the last entry, this game is also a recipient of a healthy modding community, but unlike Sega, BYG not only allows mods, they have full creative control and support, and access to the exact customization tools that the dev team used, and anyone can upload any songs. Some of my favorite tracks are on the custom list. You all already know your boy grinded out that S+ on the full 10-minute version of Bury the Light. I wish I could gush about Rift of the Necrodancer all day, and I did. I had to cut out a lot of this on the script floor. But also it's very important to me because I go through these extended periods of time where I just don't post or don't have the motivation to make content. But when Rift came out, I was able to just stream and have fun with the videos again, and they were extremely well received on both YouTube and Facebook. The original Bad Apple custom video I did had the most views I have ever gotten on a video, period. And that's a tall order considering the shitposts I used to make back in early 2010s would hit 200k views on average. It's an amazing feeling to get that kind of reception for something I just truly enjoy doing and I'm having a bunch of fun with. That's just another reason that Rift of the Necrodancer is my personal game of the year. And if you haven't already, I would absolutely recommend that you go check it out. If you're still here, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate y'all letting me gush about some of my favorite games for about 20 minutes here. It's been a great year for me and for gaming, and if some of these entries get you to check out some of these games for the first time, that's all I really want. I'll be happy with that. I hope y'all have a great night, and enjoy the rest of your year.